Welcome. We're going to go through Hesiod today, Theogony, which is one of the founding documents, in some sense, of the Greek mythology, one of the prime sources. And this is the 30-page long story that lays out the whole of the creation myth and the genealogy of the Greek gods. And one of the best things is that it's written so beautifully. It's a huge inspiration, and it kind of shows you both how to write, and then he starts the story with a technique with invoking the Muses, which is one of those ideals that are used in so many of the stories. So if you look, so on the left side you see Hesiod, and then on the top here is the 9 Muses on the Helicon mountain. So we're just going to jump into the beginning. So it starts with, "From the Heliconian Muses, let us begin to sing, who hold the great and holy mount of Helicon, and dance on soft feet about the deep blue spring and the altar of the almighty son of Kronos," which is Zeus. "And when they have washed their tender bodies in Permisius, or in the horse's spring or Olmius, make their fair lovely dances upon highest Helicon, and move with vigorous feet. Thence they arise and go abroad by night, veiled in thick mist, and utter their song with lovely voice, praising Zeus the Aegis holder, and queenly Hera of Argos, who walk on golden sandals, and the daughter of Zeus the Aegis holder, bright-eyed Athena, and Phoebus Apollo, and Artemis, who delights in arrows, and Poseidon the earth holder, who shakes the earth, and reverend Themis, and quick-glancing Aphrodite." And then he keeps going with some of the more of the gods and goddesses. And then he explains how this story came into being. So this is still in the opening paragraph, referring to the Muses. "One day they taught Hesiod a glorious song while he was shepherding his lambs under holy Helicon. And this word first the goddesses said to me, the Muses of Olympus, daughters of Zeus who holds the Aegis." So this is the moment where Hesiod gets the inspiration for the story that he's about to tell about the first steps of the Greek mythology. And he says that while he's out shepherding, they are coming to him. And then another one of the astonishing things he says here is that they're telling him, "Shepherds of the wilderness, wretched things of shame, mere bellies, we know how to speak many false things as though they were true, but we know when we will to utter true things." So this is like what he's doing when he's invoking the Muses, is he's tapping into his own inspiration, kind of his own deep and imagination. And then he just refers to very gently and poetically here that you can't always trust what your imagination comes up with, but sometimes, like when they want to, they will tell you the true things, but they can also say many things that are false as they were true. And then it keeps going. "So said the ready-voiced daughters of great Zeus, and they plucked and gave me a rod, a shoot of sturdy laurel, a marvelous thing, and breathed into me a divine voice to celebrate things that shall be and things that were aforetime. And they bade me sing of the race of the blessed gods that are eternally, but to ever sing of themselves, both first and last." And this is also the story starts with the Muses and ends with the Muses. So this is how he frames the story and also his own process. So like it comes from out of nothing in some sense, almost comes like the Muses with the inspiration when he calls on them, and then you get the whole story of chaos, and then out emerges Gaia and the other primordial gods, and then Uranus is born, and then you get Titans and this whole huge landscape and kind of like this big world of the Greek mythology that kind of taps into every part of human nature and life in some sense, in the human world. So it's just 30 pages long. You can read it in an hour. And just one other part here we had looked at. When he talks about, it's just the wording, it's just fascinating and very beautiful. So he talks about when Gaia and Uranus have 3 sets of kids, as we talked about in earlier clip. So when they get those 100 hands, as they call it, but in Greek that is hekatoncheirs. So it says that when he describes them, that again 3 of the sons were born of earth and heaven, great and doughty beyond telling, Cottus and Briareus and Gaius, presumptuous children. From their shoulders sprang 100 arms, not to be approached, and each had 50 heads upon his shoulders of the strong limbs. And irresistible was the stubborn strength that was in their great forms. For all of the children that were born of earth and heaven, these were the most terrible, and they were hated by their own father from the first. So especially this irresistible was the stubborn strength. It's kind of this. So much in the Greek mythology, and especially mythology, is like it's never clear cut. It's a bit of things are complicated. There's always kind of many things to the nature of most things they describe. So and this is the background for why Uranus is then he wants to get rid of them and puts them in Tartarus, the underworld. And then Gaia is very angry at him. So that in part provokes this uprising from the Titans. So that's all for this clip. Just a very quick introduction to Hesiod and Theogony, one of the true treasures of the ancient world. And we'll recommend you to start reading it. And as always, thank you for watching and hope you have a great day.